Hi student, today we will discuss nested for loops. Already we have discussed simple for loop. So how exactly the simple for loop looks? For expression 1, expression 2, expression 3. Expression, we know that it stands for initialization. Expression 2 is for conditional expression and expression 3 is for updating the expression. So then what is a nested for loop? Nested for loop is nothing but we are keeping one for statement inside the other for statement. Let's see how its syntax goes. For, we'll take the same whatever the three expressions of the for loop. This is the outer for statement we are taking now. This is the outer for statement. Inside this I'll take another for statement. See, here we have taken another for statement. Actually, which is my outer for statement? All of you just observe the pair of braces here. Okay, actually this whole is the body of outer for statement and this is the body of the inner for statement. Logic is same for both the for statement, as we have seen in the simple like a for statement. Both the logics are same. Expression 1 stands for initialization, expression 2 is for a conditional expression and expression 3 is for updating the value of the control variable. Then what is the special? Why we need to go for nesting the for loops? For example, if I want to get this particular output, if I want to print the order of a matrix. See, we know that this is the order of the matrix. If I want to print this. You agree with me? This is the order of the matrix X. In the sense, we have 3 rows and 3 columns. Assume. If I want to print this order of a matrix, how we need to do? Already using simple for, we people have understood how to print the sequential values. But if I want to print like this table format of the output, the nested for loop is much essential. So let me explain this particular syntax, how exactly it works first. See, always initialization takes place for the outer for loop. Based on that initialization, conditional expression will be get checked. We know that if it becomes true, it will come inside. In the sense, the body of the for loop executes. So what is there inside the body of the for loop? Another for loop is there. So for that another for loop, initialization takes place. Expression 2 is get evaluated, that is conditional expression will be get checked. If it is true, the body of the inner for loop executes. Once it is get executed, expression 3 of the inside for loop is executed, that is nothing but updating the value of the control variable. Next condition will be checked, the body of the inner for loop executes. This cycle repeats till this particular condition become false. Assume that this condition became false now. So where the control has to go? Obviously the control comes here. So once the control comes here, the update of the control variable of the outer for loop takes place. Expression 2 in the sense the conditional expression of the outer for loop checks. If it is true, again the inside for loop has to do its execution from scratch. So let's see an example for that, it will be more clear. So to have the standard input output function, I'll be taking stdio.h. I don't need any of the header files. That's why I'll start from main. We know that the execution of every C program starts from main. I'll be taking 2 control variables I and j. Please all of you concentrate. Why I have taken I and j? Don't mug up any of the things here. See, I want to represent set of rows and set of columns. That's why I have taken 2 control variables I and j. Assume that I represents the set of rows and j represents the set of columns. So let me take now for I is equal to 0. You may question me, madam, why you have initialized I is equal to 0. I know that the zeroth, I'll be considering the zeroth row here. The standard mathematics says that always we need to do the naming of rows and columns with 0th index. That's why I have taken I is equal to 0. So then I should be less than 3. Why I should be less than 3? I need to have 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. That's 0th row, first row, second row. So we know that these all values, either they are less than 3, all are less than 3. That's why I have taken less than 3, and every time it should be incremented by 1. Next, I will be taking one more for loop. J is equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. So why we have taken this? I want to represent the three columns in the same way as the rows. 0, 1, 2, they are less than 3. That's why I have taken less than 3. So next, the important thing is this. We need to come to a decision what to be get executed inside the nested for loops. What to be get executed? See, I want to print 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2 with respect to inside for loop. That's why I'll take percentage %d. I'm taking slash t here. Just understand why I have taken slash t. See, after the every index, I want to leave a space. That's why I have taken slash t. So what must be the first value? I. What must be the next value? J. Complete it. See, after printing 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, I want to go to the new line. That's why I have taken printf /n. Complete the outer for loop and complete the program. So let me trace this particular program in detail. See, always we know that the execution of a C program starts from main. So where the control comes here. This is the variable declaration. We know that these all things we people have already discussed. Memory will be get allocated for I and j. So I is equal to 0. 0 is less than 3. True or false? Yes, obviously it is true. It will come inside. Why it is considered? Because this whole part is a body of the outer for loop. So what is the first statement to be get executed? For loop is there. First statement to be executed is expression 1, that is nothing but j is equal to 0. 0 less than 3. True or false? Yes, it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. This is the body of the inner for. Okay, so percentage %d. What is percentage %d? The value of I will be get fetched here. What is this second percentage %d? Value of j will be get fetched. What is the present value of I? 0. What is the present value of j? 0. So obviously 0, 0 is printed. /t. A space will be left. Next, where control goes back? Just think, already we people have discussed our normal for loops. Obviously the control comes here after the checking of this statement. If it is true, some set of statements are going to be executed. Later it has to come here, j plus plus. What will be the new value of j? 1. So 1 less than 3. True or false? Yes, it is true. As it is true, again it will come for this statement to be get executed. Percentage d in the sense the respective value of I and j. So I remains same, that is 0, but j is a 1. Again j plus plus, it will become 2. Okay, 2 is less than 3. True or false? Yes, it is true. It will come inside. Percentage d in the sense I remains same, 0, 2. J plus plus, it will become 3. 3 less than 3, false. As it is false, it will not execute this statement, in the sense this body should not be get executed. Where it has to come? Outside. What is there outside? Printf /n. In the sense a new line will be taken. Why I have taken this? Because I want to get the next set of whatever the indexing in the next line. Next, where it has to go after completion of this particular execution, it should come for I plus plus. What will be the new value of I? 1. 1 less than 3. True or false? Yes, it is true. So it will come inside. Now I want to stress a very important thing here. For every new value of I, all the values of j has to be executed. What is the meaning of this? For every new value of a control variable for the outside for loop, all the values of the inner for loop should be get executed. What are all the values? 0, 1, 2. In the sense, again j is equal to 0, 0 less than 3. Yes, it is true. It will come inside percentage d. So what is the value of I right now? 1. What is the value of j? 0. Because again it is initialized. In the sense, the next value is to be printed is 1, 0. Value of I is 1, j is 0. Next j plus plus, it will become 1. That is nothing but 1, 1. J plus plus, it will become 2. That is nothing but 1, 2. Next j plus plus, it will become 3. 3 is less than 3. Obviously it is false. As it is false, it will come outside. In the sense, it will take a next line. Next I plus plus. What will be the new value of I now? It is obviously 2. 2 is less than 3. True or false? Yes, it is true. It will come inside. All the value of j repeats. Again the same cycle repeats. That is nothing but 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. Next, the value of I increments. 3. 3 less than 3. False. As it is false, it will come out. The program ends. So successfully I have got this particular output. All of you understood how the nested for loop executes? For every new value of outer for loop, all the values of the inner for loop execute till it becomes false. Once the condition of the inner for loop becomes false, it has to go for updating the value of the outer for loop. Again the cycle repeats till the condition of the outer for loop becomes false. Once the condition of the outer for loop becomes false, the program will come after the outer for loop, the body of the outer for loop. Let's see one more important program. Most frequently this particular program will be asking in your placement interviews. Just they may change a little bit, pattern they may change, but most of the times they'll ask this particular program. Assume I'll take a pattern now. Sorry. So what is the pattern? This pattern start with the asterisk. Next asterisk is incremented like this till we have this particular pattern. See how many rows we have? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the sense, we have 5 rows. How many columns we have? Again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the sense, we have 5 columns. But the important thing we should understand here, whenever we have the particular row, the column is also with respect to that row. In the sense, if I have only one row, I have a 1 column asterisk. If I have a 2 rows, for the 2 columns I have a asterisk. Let me build the logic now. See, that's why many times I used to tell to my students, don't start writing the program from main itself. Try to build the logic. See, I is equal to 0. I less than 5. So let me tell why I have taken I less than 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You agree that all these values are less than 5? That's why I have taken less than 5. Every time I need to increase the row number. That's why I have taken I plus plus. Next, see, this I took the number of rows now. Next I need to take the number of columns. What I have to do? J is equal to 0. J less than, what I have to take? See, for example, for the 0th row, I have asterisk for only 0th column. For the first row, I have asterisk only for the 0th column and the first column. In the sense, you agree that I should be less than or equal, J should be less than or equal to I. Agree with me? Because see here, I have this first row, first column. I have this 0th row, 0th column, first row, first column. That's why I have taken J less than or equal to I, J plus plus. See, very simple. What I have to take now? Printf. What is to be get printed? Asterisk. Okay. So I'll be leaving a space between every asterisk. After every row I want to have a new line. That's why I have taken slash in. See how simple the program is. What are the two control variables I have? ing. Let me take ing now. So add the further part of the program. As I have used the printf, I am taking stdio.h. That's why many times I tell, don't start writing the programs from scratch. See, these are the bodies of the inner and outer for loop. Let me trace this now. Okay, so how exactly it works? I is equal to 0, 0 less than 5, true or false. As it is true, it will come inside. So I know that for every value of I, all the values of j executes. J is equal to 0, 0 less than or equal to 5. True or false? Yes, it is true. Okay, because I'm extremely sorry. 0 less than or equal to 0, because the value of I is 0. 0 less than or equal to 0. True or false? Yes, it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. First asterisk is get printed. J plus plus, the value of j will become 1. Sorry. 1 less than or equal to 0. True or false? It is false. As it is false, it should come here. I plus plus. The value of I will become 1. 1 less than 5. True or false? Yes, it is true. Okay. As it is true, it will come inside. Okay. J is equal to 0. Next, 0 is less than or equal to 1, because the recent value of I is what? 1. 0 less than or equal to 1. Yes, it is true. That's why it print the next asterisk. Okay, next j plus plus 1. 1 is less than or equal to 1. Yes, it is true. Next asterisk. This cycle repeats. See here. This, I think you have understood the logic. This cycle repeats till I get this particular pattern. I hope all of you people have understood the logic. Let's see another example, that is to generate this particular pattern. See, these all are very, very important. That's why we are taking these particular examples, because in placement interviews they'll ask to generate these kind of patterns. So now, how many particular rows are there? 5. Okay, that is nothing but from 0 to 4. How many columns are there? Again 5. That is nothing but 0 to 4. So, let me explain this particular thing now. That is, again, build the logic for I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. For j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus. Okay. So, let me go in detail. You might question, Madam, why you have initialized with 1? You might question me. Earlier you have initialized with 0. The simple thing is, I have initialized with 1 because my pattern is starting with 1. It is easy for me to print. That is the only reason. Otherwise, you can initialize with 0. If you initialize with 0, while printing, you need to take j plus 1. That is the only difference. Okay, that's why the logic of the program differs from one programmer to another programmer. Okay, see, I need to take a particular logic here. First, better I'll write my logic and later I'll explain how I have ended with this particular logic. See, I am not writing the program start from main, because it is just, the thing is, first we need to develop the logic, later include all those things. Actually, this is the good programming practice. Otherwise, what you people start doing, if you start doing it from main, you just keep have a practice of mug-upping the things. Okay, now let me explain how exactly. What is the body of the outer for loop? This. What is the body of the inner for loop? This. Okay, let me explain now. I is equal to 1. 1 is less than or equal to 5. True or false? Yes, it is true. It will come inside. J is equal to 1. 1 is less than or equal to 1. Why 1? Because I value is 1. Yes, it is true. It will come. See here, 1 is get printed. J plus plus. The value of J becomes 2. 2 is less than or equal to 1. False. Definitely once this become false, the body of this particular like a inner for loop never executes. It will become what? Printf slash n. In the sense, I'll come to the new line. Where exactly the control has to go now? I plus plus. The value of I has to become 2. 2 less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. Okay, J is equal to 1. Okay, better I'll write the iteration here, second iteration here. J is equal to 1 and I is equal to 2. Okay, 1 is less than or equal to 2. True or false? Yes, it is true. So come inside. So the value of J is get printed. 1 is get printed. J plus plus. The value of I become 2. J become 2. 2. I is also 2. 2 is less than or equal to 2. Yes, it is true. As it is true, again it is get executed. 2 is get printed here. Okay, next is J plus plus. It will become 3. 3 is less than or equal to 2. False. As it is false, this particular statement never executes. It will come for slash n in the sense new line. Next I plus plus. It will become 3. 3 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true. It will come inside. All the values of the J executes. That is nothing but 1, 2, 3. You may question me, madam, why 3? Because we know that this time the value of I is 3. J is less than or equal to 3. In the sense 1, 2, 3. All executes. Okay. Next the value of I becomes 4. 4 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true. Again the every value of a J has to execute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again you may question me, madam, why this time 4 you have added? Because now the value of I is what? 4. It is a simple logic. Next I plus plus. It becomes 5. 5 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true. All the values of particular J executes. I becomes 6. 6 is less than or equal to 5. False. As it is false, the program ends. I hope you people have understood the nested for loop. So one assignment I will be giving for today's session. Okay. So today now it is 29. You prepare it by 2nd May. Otherwise we will be uploading the solution also. Try to generate this pattern. Actually it is simple, just you have to think of it. The same kind of program already we did. Try to generate this. Try to generate this particular pattern. This is one separate program and next to this one. Okay, like this, these are the 2 patterns I have given. Try to develop your own pattern also. Okay, I hope all of you people have understood. Thank you.